Hello and welcome to this new video. So I'm going to be playing something a little bit different. Now this is interesting to me because normally I'm a jungler and I understand that a lot of people will view me to be a jungle player and that's totally fine. But I do like playing other roles, especially support. If you guys don't understand the, I guess, similarities between jungle and support, I feel like it should be somewhat obvious to anyone that ends up actually playing both roles. Now you have the lanes that have to take the farm, right? Mid lane, top lane, the solo lanes, they have to farm their waves, and the ADC has to farm the wave. But the support and jungle, they have a bit of a different sort of economy thing going on, where the junglers will hit camps, typically, and they can hit waves, sure. And the support will get money through either, attacking the enemy, or they would farm, let's say, the relic, right? The relic stacks, or the other thing, right? Relic or shoulder guards. And because of this kind of mobility, and that you can, oh boy. Haha, you also don't have to deal with this kind of garbage when you're playing jungle. Or sorry, when you're playing support. What was I saying? You have freedom, and I guess I'll quote Spider-Man here. With great power comes great responsibility, that kind of thing. And if you're free to do something, that's a lot of power in your role, right? Jungle has quite a bit of power because they can impact 3 lanes. Now support's a little bit more limited, and they obviously have duties like they have to make sure to cover their ADC, they have to like prevent dives by sitting on tower. But every now and then, if you get a chance to roam, you can just move away, and you can look for something, you can look for something juicy. You could end up being a little bit more useful than jungler, or you could just become the jungler, you know what I mean? There's some games that I've played on Pyke or Brand or whomever, where sometimes I'll literally just gank more than the jungler. And this is cool because what I'll do is, if the jungler goes one side, or if they show on one side, I'll go to the other. Because they're gonna think, well, our, in this case, Diana, they'll think, well, Diana can't possibly, oh, what the hell? Okay, I'm gonna have to move here. Thankfully, they went opposite targets. That's good. I'll live, but my teammate will die. Unfortunate for him. Yeah, this is a level 3 gank. Yeah, like I said, sometimes, it'll be one of those cases where... What's it called? You can kind of juke your opponent's movements. You can fake them into thinking certain things. And, you get like a sneaky gank off. I should have gotten EXP from that cannon. I was waiting here just in case... the guy decided to come right back. This guy's gonna try to stop my freeze? No. If he doesn't stop my freeze, then I can sit right here. I can still sit right here. I'm just gonna E if he W's. Oh wait. I just said I would, but then I didn't. That's okay. I still got a freeze. I also cut vision. If I saw him go into the W animation early by staying in the bush, I would have been okay. Or I could have just E'd early. Yeah, so this is kind of weird for me because normally when I jungle, I'm able to talk about every decision that I'm making and do it kind of smoothly, right? But if I'm playing support and I have to keep in mind the support things, I'm not so familiar with the role that I can kind of get away with autopiloting. So I do have to focus a little bit here. Okay, we're gonna roam. That's flash from Echo, flash from Maokai. Maokai, sorry, the Malphite should have helped. I'm coming over though. And remember, Pyke has a little bit of damage, or at least could have a little bit of damage. Nice, good. I'm gonna hook this guy. Oh, he got the buffer. It's okay. Go for the Maokai. It's important to go for the Maokai here. He's gonna dodge up. Nice. Good. We can walk away. Same thing, dodge up, yep. The classic. The classic path for the Q is to just go like this with a cursor, so she dodges up like this, and I just throw my hook like that. I should probably make a guide on just like probing skill shots and playing League like a fighting game, honestly. Because I can get away with a lot more things if I just assume the default position that every player I'm playing against is going to be dodge. It's only against the higher elo players, like the real good players, where they start throwing in mix-ups, where they'll, they'll change their movements up. Sometimes they won't dodge at all, and that in and of itself can be a dodge sometimes if you're predicting that they're going to predict you. But against most players, I would just recommend account for the default dodge. the most likely place. They're running along the wall, they're gonna dodge off the wall. You know what I mean? The difficulty is when you're in an open field, you know, it's like a 50-50, left or right. And it is, for me at least, a little bit more natural to pull my mouse in than it is to push it out. Sometimes if they're high DPI, it won't matter, but there's like a little bit of a metagaming thing. One thing I always thought was really cool is if you ever looked at a pro player's cams, if you look at the way they position their hand, sometimes if they don't turn their mouse to the side, like kind of diagonal, if they're aiming it straight up and down, as in you're pushing your mouse up instead of angling it to the left and pushing it to the northwest, I guess, to move it up. Sometimes you can be like, all right, if this guy is walking this way, his camera is either locked or unlocked. What's the likelihood of it being locked or unlocked? Okay, I'm gonna guess that he's got locked cam because I watch his pro play view and I know that he plays locked cam a lot. If he's locked cam and he's moving to the right, in order for him to move to the left, is it comfortable for him to do that? You know, like I'm just talking about how there are some cases where I feel like a lot of people are missing this opportunity to metagame their opponents. You could also just screw yourself. It's kind of like rock, paper, scissors, where some people that think they're good at rock, paper, scissors are lying to you. I'm not good at rock, paper, scissors, and I fully acknowledge that because honestly, it's for the most part guessing. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, if someone's fucking with you, right? If someone's just going scissor every time, you know, and you pick up on like a very clear pattern, it could be that they're having fun with you, they're trolling around, they're not seriously trying to win. It's not like a life or death situation. Like there are a lot of these sort of things. A lot of people like to think that they would be good at these things, but that's like one of the easiest ways to like think that you're intelligent and then suffer the consequences of not actually being intelligent. But you know, just bear with me here. I do think that there's an opportunity for like analysts to watch a pro player on the other side. Let's say I don't know, I'm like T1 versus Gen G, and I watch all of Gen G's pro player cams. I'm like, okay, this guy plays on Windows screen, or this guy plays high DPI, this guy plays low DPI. Okay, if he plays low DPI, what if we do a crossfire where we approach him from a flank, yes, but we approach at the exact same time, and so he has to click towards one and he can't hit both. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. Or hey, this guy F keys a lot, so maybe we can take advantage of blind spots. As in, if I show on the map here, if I'm support, I'm going to say, I'm going to show on the map, and I'm going to briefly distract the enemy mid laner, because I'm going to pretend I'm doing something, or come out of fog, like here or something, or maybe from behind, and I know the enemy mid laner, like Faker, is going to tab to me, just for a microsecond, right? And in that moment, I want you, my mid laner or my jungler, to sneak into a bush where normally they would have had vision, and now, you know, now they don't, right? That kind of stuff. Just cool little tricks like that. Cool little things that, you know, eventually, maybe a decade from now, League of Legends players will explore this idea of like taking advantage of physical movements, right? Because normally what you do is you respond to how the enemy's character moves within the game. And that makes sense, right? Because that's the most direct information that you can get. It's the game. But you think about like a player's tendencies. Maybe you're playing against someone who's got carpal tunnel, right? Okay, is he gonna play champions that require a high degree of complexity? Or maybe, oh, I have to flash here. I'll do some damage before that. Ah, damn, unlucky. Good though. It's good for the team. Okay, he's got carpal tunnel. Why don't we attack that weak point? I know it's kind of mean. It's kind of like, you know, cutthroat, but it's like this guy favors a certain pool, and okay, it's a best of 5, and we know this player has wrist injuries or has bad eyesight or gets dry eye. Let's stall this game. Let's stall this game as long as possible. Literally make them tired, right? Or okay, this game we could, you know, there's like a good chance that we'll win if we go for soul here. Or we let them take the dragon, right? We're game 2 out of, you know, best of 5. We're, you know, we already won the first one. So it's game 2. We can give them one game. But we could tire them out, you know, give them the dragon, stall it out a little bit more. Maybe both teams have like, you know, really late game comps. Let's bring this game to 40 minutes, you know, because their mid laner has dry eye, right? Like, just, you know, sneaky things that you might think are inconsequential, but it's kind of like this. Like, if you don't eat food, If you don't have breakfast and you're sluggish because of it, you might not think that that mattered, but it fucking mattered, right? Or you get irritable, you get very angry. You know that the enemy top laner does not like eating the confectionaries and the extra stuff. Oh, nice. Good, good, good. I didn't get any assists there. You know that the enemy top laner is, I don't know, has like dietary restrictions or something. And oftentimes doesn't eat in the lunchroom between breaks or something, right? I don't fucking know. So this guy's blood sugar level is low and he's gonna get tired. Just all these details, if I were an analyst, I would check all the regular stuff, right? Like, oh, you know, what champions are good and patches and stuff, but I would try to specialize on getting every single data point about the other person, even if it doesn't pertain to their in-game stuff, because things outside of game can affect your performance. So for me, if I know that the enemy team has two of their players have girlfriends, I'm gonna check. Are they? Shit, if I wanted to be evil about it, yo, could you imagine? Kind of like a House of Cards thing where you like, I don't know, plant someone to mess with their girlfriend so that their girlfriend blows back on them and their performance that LCS weekend, you know, gets affected. Like, can you imagine that? Can you just evil shit? But if you could do it in a way where it's not actually evil, it's just a little bit of a meta game. Well, I'm down for it, right? Could be interesting. It could be. Could be something that gets explored. Might even be something that people do now. I'll tank that. Yo, you need to get out of the fucking root, man. What the fuck was that? Why did he root himself? He just needed to curve to the right, because I already tanked the root. Would have been so simple. Okay, well, nice try. I think the most applicable one, for sure, would be like mental state. You know, you think the enemy top laner is not in a good spot. Maybe we'll look for ganks more on that, or they messed up last game. They might, you know, they might feel on edge, or it's a rookie. You know, it's a rookie. This guy's got nerves. Target him, right? There's it's one of my favorite things to do. It's not that I think I'm gonna do it perfectly. It's just I always try to keep in mind, like, what are some of the warning signs that someone's like affected or under a certain condition, or, you know, maybe they're not exactly in the best spot. Something I can take advantage of. And, you know, that's something you won't always be able to read from League of Legends. But let's say you play against someone and they tilted, right? Next game, go camp him. Next game, tell your jungler, yeah, this guy's, you know, he's tilted. That's why it's one of the worst things to be like a very, very obvious tilter in League. If you let the opponent know that you get tilted by their actions, they will. Sorry, I'm getting like hiccups. They will absolutely take advantage of it, or they should. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you're a top laner or a mid laner, you're solo lane, right? You're easy gank. You're playing something immobile, and you go like, camp me more. Like, they will. They just fucking will, right? Like, they will just camp you more. So, be smart about it. Don't be the guy that has weaknesses, right? Don't get exposed like that. That's one of my favorite parts. The metagame. And I hope you keeping that in mind, because like if you ever play like amateur leagues or you go to a LAN, right? Like don't like stare at them, but you know, you're playing Smash, you're playing Street Fighter, any sort of like fighting game requires inputs, something like that. You know, you could watch their hands sometimes. I mean, this is why people will cover their controllers sometimes, because opponents. Like, sometimes your opponents will use peripheral and watch, like, your inputs, like your hand, like your joystick, if you're, you know, to see if you're doing something. Ooh, nice. Got a good one. I got a flash. Okay, I got a flash. Oh boy. Get out of here. Let's get out of here. Are they gonna dive? Yo, you're typing. Busy typing. Okay, I'm just checking. If he dives, I'm here. There we go. Oh, I dodged that. Oh, oh. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Yeah. Maybe 10 years from now, you know, with the nutrition that kids have nowadays, you know, they're gonna grow, dude. They're gonna... Brains will develop a lot more easily. I believe, at least their physical body is. I know some of the kids nowadays, man, they're like 12, 13, but they're 6 feet. There's these genetics, OP, nutrition, OP. Hook that, nice, good prediction. I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna scare them. Keep it going. Scare, scare, scare. I have my E cooldown in 5. I'm just gonna keep threatening that I have the ulti. Maybe I E forward, pretend I have ulti. I was hoping I could stall it out. He already uses flash, but good to fuck with people, I suppose. I should have kept it going. Maybe I could have found an opportunity to use my ulti. I was just worried about people coming back from base, whether it's the Rukon or the Echo coming by. Dang. Okay. Well, let me go scan for some wards. Scan for some... Ooh, juicy. Nice. Thank you. Backing a couple, I'm gonna get rid of that. Oh, I tried to. Clear my wards. I want to clear this ward here. Oh, what? I didn't get that. Dude. That hook was mine, man. I can't believe I didn't land that. Alright, is he warding again? No, he didn't ward again. You wanna go? You wanna go? That's the farm. Okay. That's a sapling. I'm gonna go get rid of that. Thank you. So yeah, Maokai's setting up for this. I'm gonna go refresh my wards. Yeah. I'll refresh my wards. Wait, I need my wards. I will get one control ward here. I mean, I can already delete their wards. I don't need the control ward for the most part, but it would be nice to have an extra thing to place down in a bit of a more defensive spot. Kind of like here, you know what I mean? Because I know there are no wards here, but I'll just leave it here for now. Because once we finish this dragon play, I want to shift my wards toward topside, right? So, it'd be nice to get that stuff done. Oh, that's bad. Oh, he gave me an out! He gave me an out! Let's go. Oh my god. Oh, Echo's watching for me. I know he is. He's moving towards me like that. Yeah. He's watching for me. He's waiting. Kind of dangerous. Nice. There we go. It's important to watch your opponents. Is he going to dodge the same way? Let's see. No. He's going to run straight. He tried to dodge into the wall this time. He didn't want to dodge off the wall. He stood still hoping I would go for prediction. But I threw it straight because I know that I hit him with it earlier. And I know that he realizes that I was going for a prediction. Sometimes if you can throw a prediction without it seeming like one, as in you throw like... Okay, I'll explain like this. Let's say you do something, right? And it's like a very tactical move. And your opponent... like it's such a smart, such an intelligent move that it's like so obvious that you meant for it. One of those things where it's like, it's too good to be true. Like you got to be making this shit up, and also like you can't be making this shit up. Those kind of cases where like beyond the shadow of a doubt, like it was intentional. Those are good and bad. As in, it's good in the sense that like you're thinking, you're anticipating your opponent, and you're countering what they're doing, right? But it's bad in the sense that now you've shown your opponent that you bother to do that. And it could be bad or it could be really bad. Either way, it's a point of information that your opponent can use. A smart opponent will use that against you, and like a dumb motherfucker would just be like mad that you beat him, you know what I mean? So like you're hoping that your opponent's not paying attention. But like really intelligent players, especially in fighting games, like when they see you, I don't know, like stand fucking still, right? Like no one stands still in a game. Oh, I missed the ward. No one stands still in a game for the most part, especially if you're playing LAN and you see your opponent sitting next to you doing nothing on purpose. right? They're not going to assume that you kind of just blanked out. They're going to assume that like you had a plan in mind when you did that. Okay, so like I hope you understand this point about like deliberation. So what I wanted to say was, if you can get to a point in your gameplay where you do something that's good. I fucked up by pulling him over the wall. I needed to pull him to the right. That was my bad. NB. If you can do something really good without it seeming... better way to describe it. If you do something good and have it look like a fluke, your opponent will have to guess as to whether or not you meant to do that, right? Sometimes some things are just completely random, completely like, holy shit, like that guy got lucky, and like both sides will understand that it was lucky, right? But if every single move that you make, you kind of make it look like, ooh, like, was that on purpose, or was that just kind of, I threw that hook randomly? So throwing my hook in a very predictive way, oh shit, I need to cancel this. That shows that it's deliberate. But, ooh, might dash over the wall. Okay, good. Nice, nice, I got him. I'll wait for his W, and then I'll ulti. Ah, damn. He was waiting for my ulti, so he could W. So I don't get the ulti off, but by waiting like that, he has no choice but to just take his death. As opposed to being able to stall it. Because either way, I'm not going to get that ulti on him, right? If I ulti early, he Ws. And if I don't ulti, well, he doesn't W, but he just dies. No, the thing, he would have gotten up. Yeah, so this is a really cool thing to me, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, you're such a nerd. It's like, no, exactly. Like, I don't put all these things into play, right? All these ideas into play, because it's hard in the middle of the game. But sometimes, if I get a moment to think about a play, like if someone's running along this tower, like going down to the left, if I throw my hook like this is clearly a prediction. But if I throw it slightly like this, like a little bit closer, you know, maybe that's a direct hook, maybe that was a prediction. It's unclear. So the next time he goes to dodge, he's going to be like, I don't know if this guy very clearly tries to predict on every hook, or he just kind of got lucky and threw his hook at me. Do you know what I mean? There's that kind of idea at play. Now, obviously, this assumes that your opponent is also thinking. You're hoping that they're not thinking, right? You're hoping that they're just kind of blindly playing. They're just like autopiloting. That would be the best case in a lot of situations. Unless you do something where it's like, okay, you think your opponent's going to be smart and predict something, and then you go for like the depth 2, right? And they just like stand still or something. There's a lot to it, sure. But that's one concept I thought of that a lot of people, like, I haven't heard anyone talk about it. It's just like purposefully giving your opponents like a perception of you, right? Whether it's, okay, I got fucking, I mean, at least I took the aggro. Fuck, I needed to eat fast. Damn. Let's go for Edge of Night there. I got rooted on top of that. Because like you can be playing your own game and you can sit there, but this idea of recognizing that you are being perceived, it's like an extra step, I guess. Because you're gonna sit there thinking, okay, what's my opponent doing? What are his habits? But then, you know, what I'm talking about is like watching your own habits. Am I readable? Do I play scissors too often? Do I default to rock if I just lost? When I win, do I stay on the same pattern? Do I keep going paper into paper into paper if I win? How many times do I hold on to it? This idea of mixing up isn't necessarily like playing against them. It's kind of like playing against yourself, you know? It's like, I gotta make sure I can't predict my own shit, right? Because if I have a very easy pattern that I can detect, at some point a smart opponent is gonna come along and detect it as well. So what can I do to, you know, circumvent that? One thing, I'm not even kidding you, I'll share with you this one. This is the only, I guess, way in which I put this into practice. And I guess I'm kind of ruining it by saying it out loud. I do the same ward pretty much every game. I go over here and I drop the ward here so it can cover the invade. And if they scan, they can't actually see this ward right here. This ward can detect the entire entrance. If you put the ward here, they're just going to scan it and take it, right? Most people come in and they scan for the Raptors ward, scan the pit, scan this one. But they do not step to the right here. I actually caught someone on that. Chad Jungle, I caught him on that. And I told him after, I'm like, I put the ward right there, by the way. I knew you'd scan. So I warded in a way where it was hard to detect it. Nice. Oh, damn. I was too slow. Alright, I'm just gonna flash. I'm being blocked. I got him. Oh, he's got him. Nice. So I drop that ward on purpose every game. And in competitive, every time I play competitive, the first game, I don't. I make sure I don't. Well, at least like recently, if I ever have to play anything. And if I played against a jungler that knows I do that, I don't do it anymore. If they've ever like played against me and I know that they like come to my stream and say GG or something, if I know that they know who I am, sometimes I just won't drop that word. I'll go into my scanner immediately and I'll stand there and I'll watch it. Just in case. Most of the time it doesn't affect anything. But you'll never know, right? You'll never know. For me, it's like I have very clearly readable habits, right? I have pretty predictable build paths in terms of what I want to be doing, right? And like how I want to be playing. And I'm aware of that. Oh, nice dodge, dude. Oh, fuck! I'm wrecked. No! You got some nice dodges there. So it's fun, you know, like not everyone's a main character, I'm not that important, but sometimes I'll throw like fakes into the wind, just hoping like, ooh, maybe this guy's paying attention, I'll see, you know, like I'll pro for it. It's a fun little game. Like, I'll do something 3, 4, 5 times in a row, but right at the very last moment, I'll do it again. I'll fucking do it again, because they're gonna think that I'm not, right? That they're gonna think, oh, this guy's been marinating me the entire time. I'll just fucking do it again, right? Like, and sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm not. And you know, that kind of gameplay, fun. So I hope you enjoyed the sleep content. I hope you enjoyed just listening to me talk about one of my favorite concepts. Again, I'm not intelligent. I don't get my reads right all the time. It's just a fun thing to play into. You know what I mean? And I hope you guys enjoy the same stuff. Like, hope you guys develop a passion for like the rock, paper, scissors, right? That kind of thing. But don't kid yourself. You're not intelligent either. None of us are. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's just guessing. Okay? It's flipping a coin. All right. GG. Thanks for watching.